Hey everyone, welcome to the very first episode of The Daily Comic. I'm Jimmy Bird, and the idea of the show is simple. Basically, I'm going to read one comic book a day, and then I'm going to come here and tell you what I thought about it. The idea is simple. I own part of a comic book store, and I'm kind of living my own Twilight Zone episode where I have a dream of opening a comic book store, but then I've become so busy running the store that I haven't had time to read comic books. So I've decided to do this as a way to hold me accountable to actually read the comics I'm selling to everyone here at Paper Street Trading Company, located in lovely downtown Norwood, Ohio. Now, the first comic book I chose was right behind me, over my shoulder, was Superman, #1. Today is July 11th. They are relaunching Superman again, DC Comics, with a new team, Brian Michael Bendis and a bunch of great artists. They are relaunching Superman and with a brand new #1. So I chose this as the very first one, and I read it, and I enjoyed it. I'm not a big Superman fan per se. I enjoy seeing him in movies and television shows, but I've never really sat down and read a lot of comic books. I've touched base with Superman comics. He's not been my favorite. I've always been more of a Batman guy. But I felt this was a great #1 issue to jump into. Plus, it is a #1, and they're relaunching it. Let's go from here. So I checked it out. I wasn't blown away. There's just again, it's really hard to have a true #1 with a character like Superman. There's just years of history and backstory and characters. It's really hard to jump in there and have a true #1, but I felt they did a good job. I didn't feel overwhelmed. I didn't feel out of place. There was a couple pages in the beginning of exposition of like where certain characters are or why they're here, why they're not there. Stuff like that, but I didn't feel overwhelmed or felt out of place. I felt they did just a great job. Bendis did a great job with writing. The art was great for Superman, very classic style art. Some great cameos. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of the Krypton stuff. There seems to be a lot of focus on Krypton and his Kryptonian heritage. Not just in the comic books, but in movies and television and stuff like that. I've never been a big fan of that. I've always been a big fan of Superman's humanity and what makes him human and dealing with stuff like that when he takes on characters like Lex Luthor and the like. I've always found that more captivating than I did Zod or some of the other Kryptonian enemies he's had over the years. But all in all, it was a great issue, great #1. It sets up a great story, and it ends in such a way that I do want to pick up issue 2. I do want to see where it goes and what happens with the way they left it off. So if you're a fan of Superman, I think you'll be a fan of this issue. If you're looking to get into a new Superman comic, here it is. This is a great opportunity. Great writing, some great art, and kudos to DC. A lot of Marvel and DC stories are getting reboots, and it's easy to charge a lot more money for those since you're getting new #1s or new stories, and they kept the price affordable. So it's definitely worth the price of admission on this ride. So, Superman issue 1, I liked it. I think you will too. And that is all I have to say about that. If you have any suggestions on what comic I should read next, what I should be reading, leave those in the comments below. Any questions or anything else, you can leave those in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Thank you for checking this out. Tune in tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to be reading a new comic from Image Comics called Farmhand. I'll see you guys tomorrow. See ya.